Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all of you. It is my pleasure to be a moderator for this webinar on Enhanced Online Application Module under Invest Malaysia Portal for Import Duty and sales tax exemption targeted for raw materials component under the HS code 7201 until 7316. I'm Azlan Abdul Ghaffar. On behalf of my Malaysian Investment Development Authority, would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you to today's session. We appreciate you taking time off your busy schedules to join us today. As you are aware, Tax Exemption JPC module under Invest Malaysia was launched on 24th July 2020, replacing the JPC online system. The new JPC module can be accessed via investmalaysia.mida.gov.my. Applications for import duty and sales tax exemption on machinery, equipment, raw materials, components can be submitted using this new module. The objective of this session is to guide user companies on the submission of applications for import duty and sales tax exemption specific for raw materials component other than HS code 7201 until 7316. To begin, we are pleased to invite Ms. Jasbir Kaur, Executive Director, Post-Investment of MIDA, to deliver her speech.
Okay. Thank you, Azlan. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. A warm welcome and thank you for joining us at this briefing on Enhanced Online Application Module under Invest Malaysia Portal for Import Duty and Sales Tax Exemption for Raw Materials and Components. MIDA has embarked in January 2019 on developing a new system known as Enterprise Transformation System, ETRANS, to digitalize MIDA core business functions. Okay, this enhanced online system will consolidate all current processes for manufacturing licenses, incentives, import duty and sales tax exemption, and other applications under one comprehensive, accessible platform. Ladies and gentlemen, Tax Exemption JPC module under Invest Malaysia system was launched on 24 July 2020. To assist company with the new system, Tariff section of MIDA has successfully organized the first webinar on application for import duty and sales tax exemption on iron and steel materials on 25th November 2020. Today's webinar will focus on import duty and sales tax exemption on other raw materials and components. MIDA will guide user companies on the submission of application using this new module. For information, we have about 800 registered participants joining us today. But at this point of time, I think a lot more people are joining us, so we can anticipate that more will be joining shortly. So user companies can continue learning and adapting the usage of the new system by referring to the user manual and further seeking assistance through our MIDA online help desk system. Please take the opportunity to ask questions relating to the submission of application throughout this webinar session. Ladies and gentlemen, MIDA is committed in ensuring conducive business environment for all our stakeholders. In closing, I would like to thank everyone for your participation. Have a very productive session ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Jasbir, for the insightful remarks. particularly on the government initiatives to assist companies in this challenging time. Now I would like to invite Ms. Hazwani Roslan for the briefing and demo on the enhanced online module. Webinar participants will have the opportunity to send text questions to us by typing them into the question box at any time during the presentation. The questions will be addressed at the end of the presentation, subject to the availability of time. Now, without further delay, we will turn the time over to Ms. Hazwani.
Thank you, Azlan. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all our webinar participants. Okay, today webinar is on import duty and all sales tax exemption. So we will be focusing on raw materials and component other than HS code 7201 to 7316. The webinar will be starting just now, started at 9:30 a.m. and will be completing hopefully by 12:30 p.m. Okay, so this is the agenda for today. So we will start the application walkthrough on 10:15 a.m. So hopefully we will complete the walkthrough by 11:30 a.m. So the walkthrough will cover registration process on the application itself, the raw material and component application for other than HS code 7201 to 7316. The duration for this walkthrough will be approximately 75 minutes. And then after that, we will have question and answer session for 1 hour. Then we will end the webinar at 12:30 p.m. Okay, so this will be the outline of the walkthrough for today. Okay, the first one, I'll introduce the MIDA Invest Malaysia web address for those who are new to Invest Malaysia website. And then we will cover the registration process. So basically, the breakdown of the registration is the user registration, and then we have the company registration, and I will touch a bit on the digital certificate on the DigiCert, because the application in Invest Malaysia, we are using digital signature for the company submission, for the decision letter, it will be 100% online. So a company is required to register their digital certificate. So I'll walk through the process on that, and then we will cover the raw material and component application. So we have different types of application. We have new, and then we have the previous approval. This one is related to the previous approved exemption given prior to the Invest Malaysia implementation. And then we have extension application, we have additional quantity application, the amendment application, and the lastly the appeal application. And then I'll explain a bit on the inquiry and help desk for the companies if you're having any difficulties or problems with regards to your application or any technical issues. So, and then lastly, I'll explain on the user guide. Okay, so the first one, this is the MIDA Invest Malaysia website. So to access the Invest Malaysia website, you have to go to https://investmalaysia.mida.gov.my. So for those who has been using, maybe have applied for exemption, because we went live, JPC is implemented 24th July 2020. So this is the same website. If you already been using, so this is the same website. Those are new, you can access the Invest Malaysia website through this address. Okay. Those who have been using, the companies that have been using the Invest Malaysia website since last year, July 2020, or maybe since SPM, those who have applied for SPM before, you will notice that we have a new login page. So this is the new login page since we launched the manufacturing license incentive and the expected post application last week. So when you
go to the Investment website, you'll be seeing this new landing page compared to last year. So don't panic. You are actually accessing the correct website. No worries. It's just that we have new layout, new format. Okay. So basically, okay, so this is the website. Okay, so you will be seeing the login page, new login page, and then you'll be seeing the list of online application that you can apply. So we have the list of online application that you can apply in MIDA. So you can see all those application, and then this is import duty, SST Exemption is here. You have other application as well, incentive, manufacturing license. So this is the new landing page lah, our new login page. So you can still log in using your email address, your login ID, the same password, same login ID, no issue. Those who are new, you can register. I'll walk through the registration process a bit later. Okay, so the first one, we will cover the registration process flow. Okay, this one, the first one is on the existing user or existing contact person. Okay, we migrated contact person from the JPC online. If you have applied for exemption before using the previous system, the JPC online, you don't have to register. If you're using the same ID, if you're using the same email, we migrated your details. So you don't have to do any new registration. In fact, the company profile also we migrated. The company profile, you don't have to register as a new company. So this is the process flow for existing user or existing contact person. Okay, basically you are the individual applicant. Okay, as compared to the JPC online, whereby we are using the web key to log in. Into the JPC online. In Invest Malaysia, we are using individual email, individual login ID for you to log in. Then from that, this individual is a contact person. Then only you can register your company. So it means you have to tie yourself as a contact person to a company. Then only you can apply for any application. So this is for the new user. Okay, for the migrated user, existing user, what you have to do is, if you have used JPC online before and then you are using the same ID, what you have to do is to submit an activation request to MIDA. Once you have submitted the activation request, you will receive activation email. Okay, once you have received the activation email, you can activate your account. Okay, once you have activated your account, you can update your user profile. Maybe previously your designation is maybe executive, and then now your designation has been changed, so you can update your user profile. Maybe your phone number has been changed, your address, and so on. So you can go to the user profile and update your details here. Okay, so this is the step-by-step for the registration existing user. Okay, the first one is what I mentioned earlier. You have to submit an activation request. And then, okay, so basically once you have submit activation request, you will receive an activation email. So this is the sample of the email that you will get to activate your account. Okay, once you have received the activation email, you have to activate your account. Okay, similar to any other registration process, you have to verify. You have to verify your email address first. So in this case, you have to activate your account. You click on the activate account link provided in your email. Then once you click it, okay, you will be redirected to this page. Okay, once here, you have to key in the new password, the password that you'll be using to log in Invest Malaysia. So once you have key in the new password, you can click on the update password. Okay, so basically your password has been changed. You have configured your password. So with the new password, you can log in to Invest Malaysia. Okay, by clicking on the login button. Okay, so for existing contact person, as what I said, we migrated your profile. So from the JPC online, from that migrated profile, we know for a fact that you are registered as a contact person to a particular company. So in this case, when you log in, you can directly see the list of companies that you are listed as the contact person. It can be more than one company. If maybe you're the consultant, you are listed as contact person with more than one company, you will see the list of companies here. You don't have to do any registration because as I said, we migrated the company profile as well. So as you can see here, once you log in, you can see the list of companies. So in this case here, you can see Misi Niaga Berhad as the company. That means we migrated the company profile for Misi Niaga Berhad. Okay, so once you log in to after that, you can update your user profile. Okay, how to update the user profile? You can click on the button here to update your user profile. Okay, so this is the information that you can update in the user profile. Okay, you can update your address, you can update your phone number, and etc. etc. Any other information here. So once you have updated, you can click on the save button. So your user profile has been updated and has been saved. Okay, so this is the registration process flow for existing company. As what I mentioned earlier, we migrated the company profile as well. If you are listed as the contact person for that company, so basically what you have to do is just you have to update the company profile, and then you have to verify. You have to update the company profile, the basic information, maybe the correspondent address, the registered address, the contact person, the authorized person. Okay, authorized person, the most important thing for you to update is on the contact person and the authorized person, because as what I mentioned earlier, you have to add on the authorized person. We did not migrate the list of authorized person from JPC online. That means you have to add the authorized person. If you have valid and active digital certificate that you've been using previously in JPC online, you don't have to register new DigiCert for that. As long as you're using the same authorized person, means the same IC number and the same company, the same ROC number, you don't have to register a new digital certificate. You can use the existing digital certificate. It's just that we did not migrate your authorized person profile from the JPC online. So what you have to do is you have to go to the company profile and add the list of authorized person. Then there's a process for you to verify your digital certificate. As what I said, if your digital certificate is valid and active, it will not be a problem for you to verify the digital certificate. Except for if maybe your cert has been expired, then you will need to renew the digital certificate accordingly. Or if your authorized person is somebody new, then you have to register a new digital certificate for that authorized person. Okay, authorized person, digital certificate is linked by the IC number of the authorized person and the ROC number of the company. Okay, so this is the step-by-step on how to update the company profile for the existing company. So first, how to update your company profile. Okay, you can go to that company and click on the company profile, and then you can fill in the company details. and fill in the details. So what I said, if you want to update the correspondent address, if you want to update the board of directors, you want to update the register address, you can do it here. Okay, for those who have been using the Invest Malaysia website, those who have applied for JPC application before, whether PC1, whether machinery or raw materials, maybe iron and steel, you will notice that since last week, our company profile, the company profile is a bit different compared to previously. So, okay, because as what I said, we launched the few additional modules, the manufacturing license, with the new login page, new landing page. So company profile is a bit different compared to the one that you've been seeing since last year, or maybe if you have been using since SPM in 2019. So it's a bit different. So now, the company profile, the one that we have now is a bit comprehensive compared to the previous company profile, because previously you will only be seeing the company profile, the first section here. Now we have other information as well. As you can see here, we have the organization structure, we have the financing details, we have the project cost, and then we have the manpower, history of application, the industry profile, implementation survey, and so on. Okay, the other section is more related to other application. For example, if you apply for new manufacturing project, means you're applying for new manufacturing license, or maybe you're applying for incentive application, expected post, or maybe other applications. So you can see your application listed here. Your manufacturing license, your incentive approval, your grant approval, all will be listed in this company profile. That's why I said the new company profile is comprehensive, more comprehensive compared to the one that you've been seeing since 2019 or last year. Okay, as you can see here, so the first section is basically the basic information on the company profile, and then the correspondent address, the company background, the board of directors, contact person, authorized person, and so on. Okay, as what I mentioned earlier, the two most important thing that you need to update in your company profile, other than your updated address, updated contact details, is your contact person. So what you have to do is to verify. If for migrated company profile, what you have to do is verify the listed contact person, whether the listed contact person is still valid. Because there were cases from migrated company profile and migrated contact person, there will be cases whereby the contact person that we migrated is no longer working at the company, or maybe the email address that they're using is no longer valid or active. So you can see here, you can maintain the contact person, you can delete the contact person if it's no longer relevant to that company. And then if you have, like, for example, here in the company profile, whatever information listed here is actually non-editable. You can only add the contact person, but the information is not to be updated here. Okay, so there are issues reported by company that saying that, oh, they cannot update this contact person designation, they cannot update the phone number, because for contact person you cannot update the details for the contact person here. Okay, for example, for each of the contact person, they have to update in their user profile, individual user profile. Then only the information, the updated information will be reflected here. So let's say for this case, listed here is Nur Azwani Ruslan. For example, if this non-hazardous land, the designation has changed to something else, maybe to manager, for example, you cannot update it here because it's not editable. Okay, what you have to do is this non-hazardous land, this contact person has to go to the individual user profile and update the designation. So once she has updated the designation in the user profile, the updated information will be reflected in the company profile. Okay, where to update the contact person? The details is when you go here. Okay, click on the update profile. Then you can update the designation. So once you have update the designation, the updated information will be reflected in the company profile. So individually, they have to update their details. So as you can see here, they can update their title, they can update the designation, so they can update the phone number. The information updated here, once it is saved, it will be reflected, automatically will be reflected here. So it's not for you to update here. As you can see here, it's non-editable. So this is the common issues reported by company actually, because they thought they can update the contact person in the company profile. No, individually they have to update the details in their respective user profile. They can only add contact person here. Okay. Contact person must be a registered Invest Malaysia user. Means that in order for you to add a new contact person, that particular person must register in Invest Malaysia first. Then only you can add that person as a contact person. If not, when you add the contact person, when you try to add here, because you need to key in the email. So once you key in the email, system will return some sort of like error saying that the email address does not exist. So because it's not a registered user. So the prerequisite for contact person is it must be a registered Invest Malaysia user. Okay. Contact person, one company can have more than one contact person. Okay. And then one contact person can be listed as a contact person for more than one company. So I hope I'm not confused. You are not confused here. I'm not confusing you. So again, one company can have more than one contact person. One contact person can be listed as a contact person for more than one company. Okay, contact person and authorized person can be the same person. Can be a different person, can be the same person, no issue. For authorized person, as long as they have that particular person has a verified digital certificate, then there is no issue. Okay, for authorized person, does not require for the authorized person to be a registered Invest Malaysia user. The requirement is only for that person to have a verified, valid and active digital certificate. You don't have to register as a Invest Malaysia user. Contact person, yes, you have to register first. Then only you can be added as a contact person. Okay, so basically this is how you, as what I mentioned earlier, in order for you to add a contact person, you have to key in the email. So this email must be a registered Invest Malaysia user. Okay, then you have to update the authorized person. Authorized person, you can click on this add record here. And then you can, okay, once you have added a record, you will see that in the last column, the digital certificate column, By default, the status will be verified DigiCert. So for newly added authorized person, you have to verify the digital certificate first. So you click on the digital certificate. Then if I said if you have a valid, verified and active digital certificate, you will have your PIN number here. Then you can key in your PIN number, and we at this point of time we have an integration with the Post DigiCert, the third party provider on the digital certificate used in Investmeasure website, Investmeasure system. So we will have the external integration with that. So we will send your information to the digital certificate DigiCert to verify. So if let's say there's no issue with your digital certificate, valid, verified, active, not expired, then you will see that your status will be updated to verified. Okay, so if let's say it's a new authorized person, when you click on the air record, you click on the verify digital certificate, you'll be redirected to the Post DigiCert website. Then please follow the digital certificate registration accordingly. Okay, so okay, so this is next we will cover on the registration process flow for new user and new company. So basically, this is the basic process flow for new user, new contact person. Okay, individual applicant, what they have to do is to do a self registration. Okay, once they completed the registration, the user registration form, they will receive the verification email. Okay, once they receive the verification email, they can register a company. The prerequisite for you to apply for any application MIDA, for the raw material and component application, for example, you have to register a company. Must have a company because you are applying as a company. So what you have to do is for new user, you have to register a new company. So new company registration, we have approval flow process for that. So when you have registered, you have submit the registration, new company registration, your application will go to the admin, Investmeasure admin. So admin will review your company, review the company registration application. So once it has been approved, you will receive the email notification. Okay, so this is the step-by-step process for the new user registration. As what I said earlier, first you have to register your account. Okay, how to do it? So in the login page, you can see the button, the register button here. Click on the register button. Then you fill in the user details. So this is just the basic information, your title, your name, your password that you'll be using to log in, and then your address, your phone number, and so on. So once you have filled in all the required information, you click on the register button. Okay, so basically this is the message that you'll be seeing. So an email notification has been sent to your email. So please log into your email account and click on the verification link. Okay, then you have to verify the email address. Okay, so this is the email the email verification that you will receive. So this is just similar to any other user registration, self-registration. You have to verify your email first. Okay. In the event that for some reason after you receive this message, then when you log in into your email account, you did not receive any verification email. Okay, please contact MIDA contact MIDA so that MIDA will assist you. We will resend the verification email. But first, normally the case is like sometimes the verification email goes to your spam. or your junk mail. Please check your spam or your junk mail first. Then only if let's say it's not even in the spam or junk mail, please contact MIDA. MIDA will assist you accordingly. They will send you resend you the verification email. Okay, once we have verified your email, this is the message that you can see here. Okay, here you have the option to log into Invest Malaysia, or you can go to the inquiry or feedback or technical support, or maybe you want to go to the iIncentive portal. So if you want to log into Invest Malaysia, you can click on the first button. Okay, key in the email that you used to do during the registration and the password. Then click on the login button. Okay, and then update your user profile. Okay, this is for new user. You have yet to register a new company, or you have yet to be added as a contact person for any company. So for first time login, this is the dashboard or the page that you'll be seeing. So what you can do for when you log in is either you can register a new company, or you can update your user profile. You can go to the inquiry and feedback, or you can go to the technical support if you have any issues. Okay, to update your user profile, you can click either one of the button here. Okay, so this is the basic information on the user profile. So you can update the user profile accordingly. Okay. Next is for you to register a company. So in order to start creating application, start submitting application, start applying, you have to register a company first. How to do that? Click on the register company button here. Okay, once you have clicked the button, okay, this is the page that you'll be seeing. Okay, what you have to do is you need to key in your company name, the registration type, whether it's ROB, ROC, and then you key in the registration number. Okay, then you can click on the verify button. Okay, in the event. Okay, this is the sample. Okay, so once you have key in the company name and the ROC number, if the company is new, so you will get this message saying that the company in search does not exist in MIDA database. Please register to proceed. Means that you can proceed with the registration. So in our system, the company does not exist. It's a new company. So what you have to do is you click on the register button. So you'll be redirected to the company details. Okay, so during the registration, the information that you need to fill in is basic information, minimum information. You have to key in your address, and there are few listed here is the list of supporting documents that you have to provide, you have to upload for the registration. So once you have filled in all the required information, you can click on the register button. Okay, so this is the message that you'll be seeing. So now your company registration is pending for approval. So you will receive email notification. Okay, so you will receive pending approval email notification. This is the sample of the email saying that MIDA is currently reviewing the application, the new company registration. So an email notification will be sent to you once it has been approved. Okay, so once your application, your new company registration application has been approved, you will receive approval email notification. Okay, this is the sample of the email saying that the registration for your company has been approved. You can proceed to apply for new application with MIDA. Okay, then you can log into Invest Malaysia. Okay, so at this point of time, once your company registration has been approved, when you log in, you no longer will be seeing previously this page. Okay, this page, right? This is the first time login. So once you have your company registration has been approved, you will be seeing the standard dashboard page with the listing of the company. Okay, so this is the page that you'll be seeing. You'll be seeing the new company that has been approved. So the same process, what you have to do is you have to update your company profile. So this is the company profile. Update your correspondent address, your registered address, your phone number, and then you have to update your contact person as well. Similar process as what I've explained earlier. You have to add your update contact person, or if there's a new contact person, you can add. Contact person must be a registered user, similar. And then you have to add the authorized person and verify the digital certificate for the authorized person. Okay, same process. So once you have verified, the status will be changed or will be updated to verify. Okay, so now we will go through the application. So we have done on the registration part. Now we are going through. I will walk you through on the import duty and all SST exemption application. Okay, basically there are 4 types of JPC application. Four main JPC application. The first one is on the machinery and equipment for agriculture, and then the second one is machinery and equipment for selected services. The third one is raw material and component other than HS code 7201 to 7316, and the fourth one is raw material and component for iron and steel, HS code 7201 to 7316. Okay, so our focus for today will be on the third application, which is the raw material and component other than HS code 7201 to 7316. If you have been using the JPC online system previously, you will notice a slight change to the application name. Previously, as you can see here, previous application in JPC online, it is called PC1. Okay, PC1. In the new application, new system, the invest measure, it is called machinery and equipment for agriculture. Okay, for machinery, equipment, agriculture, we have few application types here. The first one is previous approval. Okay, previous approval type is related to your previous approved exemption prior to Invest Malaysia. Means that the exemption that has been approved before July 2020. So there's a requirement prerequisite for you to key in the previous approved exemption in the system. Okay, I will go into detail on the previous approval later. So basically, the machinery equipment for agriculture, we have 5 application type. The first one is previous approval, and then we have new, we have amendment, appeal, and surrender. Okay, for machinery and equipment for selected services, previously in JPC Online, it is called PC Services. We have the same set of application type, previous approval, new, amendment, appeal, and surrender. Okay, for raw material and component other than HS code 7201 to 7316, previously in JPC Online, it is called PC2. Okay, PC2. Even for the iron and steel, raw material and component for iron and steel also is called PC2. But in Invest Malaysia, we have separated the 2 application into 2 separate application. We have separated the 2 application into 2 separate application. The first one we call it raw material and component other than HS code 7201 to 7316, and then the other one is raw material and component for iron and steel. Okay, For both raw material and component application, we have the same set of application type. The first one is previous approval. Again, the same as what I explained earlier, related to the previously approved exemption prior to Invest Malaysia that has been approved before July 2020. And then we have new application, we have extension application, we have additional quantity application, we have amendment application, appeal application, and surrender application. And again, our focus for today will be on the raw material and component other than HS code 7201 to 7316. The one that I highlighted in blue here. I don't know whether you can see it. It's blue, but it's in blue. Okay. So, previously in JPC Online, for additional quantity, the application is PC2-1. Okay, so when you say like PC2-1 for in JPC Online is referring to additional quantity, but in Invest Malaysia, the additional quantity is a separate application type. Means you're applying for the same raw material and component application, but you have to apply for the additional quantity application. Okay. With the implementation of import and sales tax exemption application in Invest Malaysia, there are few business process change. Okay, the first one is Invest Malaysia is integrated. We have external integration with UCustom. So means that the information, the application, the submission information or the submission data that the company key in is sent to UCustom. System means it is sent to custom, and then the approved information, the approved application, the approval is also sent to UCustom. So we have external integration with UCustom, and then the second one is HS tariff code validation. Okay, those who have been using the raw material and component application since last year, you will notice that we have a HS tariff code validation because we have integration with the Pinta Duty Custom. So the current version is the Pinta Duty Custom or PDK 2017. So if you have used the system, you will notice that once you have key in at least the first 5 digits of the HS tariff code, we will populate, the system will populate the description, unit of measurement, import duty value, the sales tax value, and the excise duty value if applicable. So it's based on the PDK 2017, this information will be populated for you. So you don't have to key in. It's just that the company is only have to key in the tariff code, at least the first 5 digits. So all this information will be accordingly populated. Okay, the third one is no more combined application. Previously, company in JPC Online, prior to the Invest Malaysia, they can apply for combined application. For example, they can submit a new application together with the extension application. So in Invest Malaysia, is no longer allowed to do that. So that is what we meant here by no more combined application. So both must be submitted as a separate application. Means, let's say if you want to submit a new application, you have to submit the new application first. Until it's completed, you receive the decision letter. You have received the approval letter. Then only you can apply for extension. That is what we meant by no more combined application. So which goes to the next point, can only apply one application at a time. As what I mentioned earlier, in Invest Malaysia, we have a logic to control. means if you have intention or you plan to apply for maybe additional quantity application, maybe amendment application. Okay, if let's say you apply for additional quantity application first, you have to wait. The additional quantity application must be completed first. Then only you can create the amendment application. So this is what we meant by can only apply one application at a time. Means you have to complete that one application at a time. The end-to-end process until completed, then only you can create another application. So we have logic for that. So you will notice that the system does not allow this scenario. So that is on the fourth change. The fifth process change is finished products with the same unit of measurement per application. Okay, so this is related to the unit of measurement of the finished product. You will notice that when you are at the finished product section, if you try to, if like, let's say your second product, if let's say the first product is you're using the unit of measurement for first product is kg, for example, and then if let's say your second product is when you key in the HS code validation, we validate your HS code, and then the unit of measurement is unique. So if you want to proceed with that, you will notice that you will get some error saying that the finished product must the unit of measurement for the finished product must be the same. So in the event that the finished product in your application, maybe your finished product is using a different unit of measurement, what you have to do is you have to submit a separate application for that. So this is what we meant by finished product with the same unit of measurement per application. If let's say you have more than one finished product, but it is the same unit of measurement, all three products are using kg, for example, then there's no issue. The issue will occur if let's say the second product or the third product is using different unit of measurement. For the second product and third product, you have to submit a separate application. Okay. Sixth business process change is one HS tariff code per item. Okay, so this is a major change as compared to the JPC Online, the previous raw material application. So previously, normally company when they apply, they will key in multiple HS code for per item. What they will do is normally they will separate the HS tariff code by comma. It's a comma separated. So, but in the investment system, the new system, the raw material and component application, you will notice that you are not allowed to do that. Okay, you can only key in one HS tariff code per item. If let's say you have like different HS tariff code, but maybe the description is the same. Let's say if you have 6, you have to key in all the 6 tariff code for the same item. Means it will be like 6 records or 6 rows. So this is what we meant by one HS tariff code per item. Okay, and lastly, only 2 times of amendment and appeal is allowed. Okay, this is also we have logic in the system, so to cater for this, so you will notice that if let's say you are trying to proceed with the amendment or appeal application, the third time or fourth time, you will notice that the button will be disabled because we have logic in place to control this. Okay, so basically this is, okay, next will be on the application process flow. So this is a brief process flow. Okay, company or applicant create the application. So at this point of time, you will notice that the status is still in draft. Okay, once you have filled in all the section, you have filled in all the information, you submit the application. Okay, this is where we integrate with the post-digicert for the digital signature. So the authorized person that you key in earlier in company profile, we have one section, the last section in the application form, we call it declaration section. So this is where you need to select the authorized person. And once you click on the submit button, we will integrate with the post-digicert to verify your digital certificate. So if your digital certificate is active, no issue with the digital certificate, your application will be submitted successfully. In the event that you receive like error message with related to digital certificate, what you have to do is you have to log in the issue, maybe with the screenshot of the error message in the help desk. Okay, I'll explain later in detail on the help desk and the inquiry. Okay, next. Okay, at this point of time, if you have successfully submitted your application, the status will be submitted. And then your application will be submitted to Tariff section. Tariff section will review your application. So once it is in review, you will notice your application status has been changed to in progress. Okay, so once Tariff has accepted your application, so the application status will be updated to accepted for processing. Okay, this is the important milestone on your application. So at this point of time, once your application has been accepted for processing, you will receive the acknowledgement email. Okay, at this point of time, you can download the acknowledgement letter. Okay. Okay, then your application will go to the internal process. So once the MIDA has signed your decision letter, you will notice that the application has been submitted, has been updated. The application status has been updated to completed. So as what I mentioned earlier, at this point of time, we have integration, external integration with UCustom. Your approval information will be sent to UCustom. Okay. So once the application has been completed, directly, straight away, you can view or you can download your decision letter. Okay, so this is the JPC application. So the first one that we will be I will cover, the first one will be on the new. If you remember, previously I mentioned there are 6 types of application type for raw material and component. So the first one I will cover on the new application. Okay. Okay, so this is the step by step how to create the raw material and component application. The first step is to create the new application. Okay, how to create the new application? Okay, first from the dashboard, you have to click on the application header menu here. So once you click here, please select the import duty and sales exemption. Okay, wait. Okay, so when you click the list here, the application list here, so you will notice the list of application that you can apply for MIDA. But for raw material and component, you have to select the second option, which is the import duty and or sales tax exemption. Okay, once you click the second option, so you will see the application list here. Okay, what you have to do is to select the first option, which is related to the new extension or additional quantity. Okay, you can read there's a brief introduction, brief explanation here to make sure that you are creating or you are applying for the correct application. Okay, So once you have created the new application, you can start to fill in the application form. Okay, this is the first section that you'll be seeing. Okay, the first section is the application type section. Okay, the first one that you have to select is what the application for raw material and component other than iron and steel. Make sure you have to you select the correct option, which is the third one. Raw material and component other than HS code 7201 to 7316. For raw material and component sector will be automatically manufacturing will be automatically selected because you don't have any other sector. And then the third one is type of exemption. You can select whichever relevant to your application, whether it's import duty exemption or sales tax exemption. Okay, one thing to note here is if you select sales tax exemption, there will be a pop-up message saying that the sales tax exemption is only applicable, is only selected industry. You can read here, only selected industry which manufacture finished product not subjected to sales tax that can be considered for sales tax exemption aerospace, aircraft industry, machinery, equipment industry, petroleum products used as raw material for industries other than oil refinery and motorcycle assembly industry. So there is like remark here, explanation that not all are eligible to apply for sales tax exemption. So basically, when you click on the sales tax exemption, this is the pop-up that you'll be seeing. So make sure that you are eligible to apply. Then only you can tick on the sales tax exemption because not all company is eligible. Okay, you click on the OK button. Okay, once you have filled in, okay, you have to select the type of application. For this case, it's a new application. And then you have to select the market, whether it's domestic, export, fee zone, or LMW. Okay, once you have clicked on the create button, there is a reminder here saying that the selection cannot be undone. Once you proceed, you will not be able to change your selection. If you change your mind later, you will need to create a new application. Okay, this is a very important reminder. So make sure you spend some time in this section to ensure that the selection or the option that you have selected is correct. Is correct for your application. Because after this, if let's say, for example, you have incorrectly clicked on the type of exemption. For example, you have wrongly clicked on the sales tax exemption. As the message mentioned here, the selection cannot be undone. So what you have to do is you have to create new application. Similar to, let's say, if you incorrectly select the market, for example. So again, the selection cannot be undone. If you want to update or you want to remove one selection of the market, what you have to do is you have to create new application. So this is a very important reminder. Please spend some time to make sure that you the selection that you select here, whatever information that you fill in this section is correct, then only you proceed to the next section. Okay, the next section is the company section. Okay, this is the basic information. It is populated from your company profile. That's why I mentioned earlier, the first thing you have to do is to update your company profile. Because you notice here, there are a lot of the fields that are non-editable. Because why? It is populated from the company profile. You have to update your company profile first, then only you will update it here. Okay, there are report or there are issues, common issues that are reported by company saying that the board of directors is not populated, is empty, or the contact person details is not correct, it's not updated. As what I mentioned earlier, you have to update the company profile first. If let's say when you create the application, you notice that the board of directors is empty, what you have to do is you have to update your company profile first. Fill in the correct board of directors, the information, and accordingly it will be populated in the company profile. Similar to the details of the contact person, you have to update the contact person details first. Then only it will be updated or will be reflected here. Because all the information in company section is populated from your company profile. Make sure your company profile is updated with the latest information. Then only you start to create the application. Again, board of directors, contact person can only be updated in the company profile. You cannot update the board of directors. You cannot update the contact person in the company section in the application form. Okay. Okay, next section is on the previous approval record. Okay, this is where you will fill in the manufacturing license. Manufacturing license or ICA 10, company exempted from manufacturing license. Okay, so please make sure that the information that you key in here is according to your manufacturing license. Means if whatever products that is listed in your manufacturing license, make sure that you key in the correct product as in your manufacturing license in the product and activity column here. Okay, the product that you entered here will be populated or will be used throughout your application, means throughout the remaining section. So the location of your factory location and the product or the product will be populated from here. So again, spend some time to make sure that your location is correct, your product is correct, your license is correct. Because this information will be used throughout the application form, means the remaining section. Okay, this is the next section is on the project cost. Okay, project cost is based on location, your factory location. If let's say you have more than one location, you have to fill in the project cost for each of the location. Location again is populated from here. If you have two location, two license, so you will be seeing the two address, two locations here. So you have to key in the project cost for all the locations, for each of the location. Okay, the next section is on the financing details. So financing details, please fill in accordingly all the required information in the financing details. Okay, the next section is on the manpower. Okay, for manpower, we have provide option for you to fill in the manpower, the information by Excel. So you can see here, you can see two buttons here to download the Excel and to upload the Excel, to download the template and to Excel template and to update accordingly, key in accordingly, then you can upload the Excel template. If you prefer to fill in through the form, then you can accordingly fill in all the information using the form, means here. You can add the record here. If you prefer to use the Excel, you can download the Excel template. Accordingly, fill in the data, the information, then upload it back. Okay, so this is the sample of the Excel template. So once you have filled in all the information, you can upload it back by clicking on the upload Excel template button. Okay, next is on the finished product. Okay, finished product is by location. Okay, means like if you have more than one location, factory location, you have to key in the finished product for each of the location. Okay, I think there's a confusion. There's a bit of confusion here on the term that we are using, whether it's a finished product and sub-finished product. Okay. Finished product is the one that listed. Okay, so the first one you can see here is your location. So if let's say you have more than one location, you will see more than one location listed here. And for each of the location, so you will see the list of products. Okay, this list of product and the location is populated from the C section, the previous approval record. As what I mentioned earlier, you have to key in the information based on the ML accordingly. So the finished product listed here is the one that is in your ML. So sub-finished product is more on the product, is more a defined product name. So sub-finished product, okay, the sub-finished product and the finished product listed in ML can be the same. So we don't have any issue. I mean, you can use the same name. If let's say in your ML, your product is spray painting of motorcycle plastic parts, so you can use the same product for sub-finished product as well, the same name. Okay. Okay, in finished product, we have the HS code validation. As you can see here, this is the description populated from the Pinta Duty Custom 2017. So once you key in at least the first 5 digits, this information will be populated. The description, the unit of measurement, the sales tax, whichever applicable, sales tax or import duty, or maybe excise duty. So once you key in the SS code validation, all those information will accordingly be populated. Okay, in the early implementation of invest measure, we have issues on the HS code validation. Company reported, there are a lot of companies reported in the help desk that once they key in the HS code, HS tariff code, the description or the information is not updated or is not reflected. They have some issues. We have issues during the earlier implementation, but we have fixed all those issues. So if let's say some of you is still having the issues on the HS code, HS tariff code validation, please log in the issues in the help desk. So accordingly, we'll assist you or we'll fix the issues accordingly. But the issues, whatever issues that are related with the HS code validation, we have fixed it. So that's why maybe you notice now that you have no issues to validate the HS code anymore. So, but again, if you are still having an issue, please report it in the help desk. So we will look into it and fix it accordingly. Okay, next is on the raw material and component section. Okay, those who are familiar with the previous raw material and component application in the JPC online, you will notice that we in this invest measure system, we no longer have custom session. Okay, this is aligned with the custom requirement, the EU custom requirement, whereby the custom session is no longer required when you want to apply for exemption. So what you have to do here is there are two sections: imported raw material and component. The first one is for imported. The second one is for the locally purchased. Okay. Some companies are having some issues to understand the terms that we are using here. Custom session. Okay, this custom session is related to whether your raw material is direct import, free zone, or LMW, or bonded warehouse. Okay, so if let's say if you directly import, you select the directly import option here. So if let's say you select directly import, you don't have to key in the name and address of the zone LMW, address of free zone LMW bonded warehouse company. Okay, if let's say if your selection is other than direct import, okay, first you have to key in here first. Okay, so if let's say is LMW, so if you say name and address of free zone LMW and bonded warehouse, so you have to key in the company name, the information here first. So whether it's a free zone LMW or bonded warehouse, so the record or the information you key in here will be populated here. So once you have, only after you key in the first section, in the A section, then only you can see the list of name and address of free zone LMW and bonded warehouse listed here. So if let's say you select the free zone, so the list of name and address will be populated here based on the information you key in here in the A section. Okay, so if your items is locally purchased, accordingly you can key in all the information. Okay, the total input raw material and component exemption will be auto calculated by system based on the HS tariff code, based on the import duty value. So if you want to refer to the calculation, okay, so if you want to refer to the calculation, you can click on the info button here. So this is how we calculate your total import duty or your total sales tax. So if you can see, once you key in the quantity and so on, system will auto calculate the value here. Okay, let's say if your total so if let's say your total import duty or sales tax exemption is less than 5,000, so you are not allowed to proceed to the next section because there is a requirement, is a business process requirement by tariff that only you can only apply for exemption if your total duty import duty or total sales tax is more than 5,000. So you will notice here, let's say if the amount is less than 5,000, you are not allowed to proceed to the next section. So there are currently logic in place to check on that. So this you can see at the bottom the total duty or tax at the bottom here. Okay. Okay, and then there are issues faced by company when we implemented the HS code validation. Because the unit of measurement is based on the Pinta Duty Custom 2017. So there'll be like the discrepancy between the previous approval and when you key in the raw material in the invoice measure. For example, previously, if let's say your raw material items is maybe you're using metric ton. So when you key in the exact same HS code in invoice measure, the UOM unit of measurement populated is kg, for example. this is because this is from the Pintar Utility Custom PDK 2017. The unit of measurement appropriated is based on the custom Pintar Utility Custom. So what you have to do is, if let's say previously your raw material is using metric ton, and then when you key in the form in inverse measure, it is showing kg. So what you have to do is you have to accordingly adjust the quantity based on the unit of measurement. So you have to adjust the quantity accordingly to fit the kg unit of measurement. Okay, so that is on the raw material and component section. Okay, so the next section is on the, okay, so here similar to manpower, you have option whether to fill in the information, the items using the form, or we provide the Excel template. So you can download the Excel template. If let's say you have hundreds of items, you can use the Excel. You have that option. You can download the Excel template. So this is the example of the raw material component Excel template. So accordingly, you fill in all those all the the items, all the required information. Then once you have filled in, you can upload the Excel by clicking the button here. Okay. There are issues faced by company when they try to upload the Excel file. They will get this message. Okay, saying that error uploading file. Example here, error on country of origin is empty at row 2 and more. Okay, if you get this message, if you get this error, what you have to do is you have to click on the download error list file. Okay, you can actually know what error that caused the uploading of the Excel to fail. So what you have to do is you have to download the error list file here. Okay, so this is the example. Okay, so this is the example of the Excel file with the error. Okay, what you have to do is you have to go to the last column. Okay, the remark column. So here you can see it's actually saying that country of origin is empty. So we actually specify in detail the error that caused the Excel upload to be failed. So you can actually refer to the remark column. To help you with the error, excuse me. Okay, so this is on the Excel. But in the event, let's say if you still have issues with uploading the Excel file, accordingly you can log in you can report your issues in the help desk. We will accordingly assist you and fix the issue if there is an issue. Okay, next section is other major local raw material and component used in production. You only have to fill in this section if it's applicable. Okay, the next section is on the supporting document. So for each of the application, for example, the raw material and component application, we already have a predefined or predefined list of supporting documents that they required by tariff section to post in order for them to process the application. So whatever supporting documents that you see here means that it is required by tariff for the submission. So accordingly, please upload it based on the list of the documents here. Okay, the next section is on the declaration. Okay, so the list of okay, once you have filled in all the application for fill in all the required information, next step is for you to submit the application. Okay, so this is the final section, the declaration section. What you have to do is to click on the you have to select the name Okay, the name listed here is populated from the list of authorized person from the company profile. So, because the authorized person is related to the digital certificate. So, accordingly, if you have more than one authorized person verified, select whichever relevant, whichever applicable to your application. Accordingly, the IC number and the designation will be populated here. So when you click on the submit, you will require to fill in the PIN number, the digital certificate PIN number. And if you have no issues, you can proceed with you can submit the application successfully. Okay, once you have submitted the application, you will receive email notification saying that your application has been accepted for processing. Okay, once you have received the email, you can download the acknowledgement letter. Okay, so once the status has been changed to accepted for processing, right? For example, here you will notice that there will be a new button, the acknowledgement letter button, available. Here means that you can start to download the acknowledgement letter. So when you click on the acknowledgement letter button, then you can download. This is the acknowledgement letter. You can download the acknowledgement letter. Okay, so then Tariff will accordingly process the application. If your application has been completed, you will receive email notification saying the application is completed. So this is the email notification that you receive saying that your application, your decision letter is available for you to download. So if you receive this application, that means that your application has been completed. So you will notice that your application status has been changed to completed, green color. So once your application has been completed, you will see a newly added button here, the decision letter button. Okay, you can click on the decision letter button to download your decision letter. Okay, so this is the example of the decision letter. Raw material and component decision letter in PDF. Okay, so that is on the new application. Okay, for the previous approval application, okay, okay, as I explained earlier, previous approval application is related to your previously approved exemption prior to Invest Malaysia. Means the exemption that has been approved before July 2020. So, unfortunately, we did not migrate the approval from the JPC online. So, what you have to do is you have to key in your exemption, your previously approved exemption in the Invest Malaysia system. Okay, how to do that? Similar to when you want to create a new application, you go to application header menu here and select the import duty and sales tax exemption. Then when you click on the create application button here, you will see two options. Okay, if let's say previously just now as what I explained, if you want to create new application or extension additional quantity, you select the first option. If let's say you for previous approval, you have to select the second option. Okay, the previous approval application. Okay, so once you have selected the application, the previous approval application will be created. You can see here the list of section is more or less the same, as the new application. I will not go through each of the section again. is a similar process, similar section. What I'm going to explain a little bit in detail is on the raw material and component section. Okay, the difference between the previous approval and the new application is when you click on the raw material and component section, you will notice that there are three separate tables, separate application. The first one is on the diluluskan. The second one is on the ditolak, and the third one is on tidak dipertimbangkan. Okay, please make sure that you key in this information in the previously approved your previous approval application based on the approval given. So whatever materials, items that is approved, if let's say you have 6 items approved, accordingly you have to key in the 6 item approved in the diluluskan table. If you have 1 item that is ditolak, rejected based on your exemption, approved exemption, you have to key in the ditolak item as well. If you have tidak dipertimbangkan item, you have to key in that as well. In short, you have to key in all the information based on the previous exemption approved. All, including ditolak, including tidak dipertimbangkan. Because the information you key in this previous approval form will be used throughout the subsequent application. Okay, once you have filled in the previous approval application, you will see that the application status is completed. But let's say if you want to apply for additional quantity, any subsequent application, whether it's additional quantity, extension, amendment or appeal, it must be initiated based on the previous approval application. So that's why it's very important for you to key in the previous approval data first. If your approval is through Invest Malaysia, means after the July 2020, then you don't have to key in the previous approval. As what I mentioned earlier, previous approval is related to the exemption approved prior to the Invest Malaysia, means before July 2020. Because from the exemption, you might want to apply for additional quantity. You might want to apply for extension. You might want to amend that approval. So you need to key in that previous approval first. So it's very important for you to make sure that whatever information that you key in the previous approval form is correct and according based on the decision letter, the approval letter, approval given. Okay. There's one confusion or misconception from the company thinking that you have to key in. Each time when you, let's say if you want to key in, if you want to apply for additional quantity, you have to fill in the previous approval application again. If let's say you want to fill in for amendment, you have to fill in the previous approval application again. No, the previous approval application is only required to be filled in once. Only once. So from that exemption, that previous approved exemption, you can apply for any subsequent application after that, whether it's amendment, whether it's additional quantity, whether it's extension, whatever, subsequent application. That's why it's very important for you to make sure that the information you key in the previous approval form is correct. Please spend some time, take some time to make sure that the information you key in is correct, because whatever the information that you key in here will be carried forward when you apply for extension application. If let's say you key in wrongly in the diluluskan item, that information will be populated when you create the extension application. So if your previous approval application form is wrong, that means your extension application will be wrong as well. So that's why I say make sure you spend some time, like slowly make sure that the information you key in here is correct, because it will affect your subsequent application after this. It will affect your amendment application. It will affect your extension application. It will affect your additional quantity application. Okay, in the event, let's say that you have incorrectly keyed in, the status has been changed to completed, but you have you notice that you have incorrectly keyed in the information, or the information you key in your previous approval application is wrong. What you have to do is you have to formally submit a request to tariff section to return the application, to open the previous approval application for you to edit, for you to update with the correct information. So again, as a reminder, make sure that the information you key in here is correct, because it will affect your subsequent application. It's only one time filling in that information. You don't have to do it every time. And then okay, as what I said earlier, once you have completed the previous approval application, it's not like you have completed your extension application. Yeah, it's not like you don't have to apply for the additional quantity application. No, this is only the information that you need to fill in based on your exemption approved, because we did not migrate your approval data. So you have to create another application if you intend to apply for additional quantity. If you intend to apply for extension application, you have to create that application and submit and apply. So it's not like your process completed here. No, this is only your approved exemption data. The extension application or the additional quantity application is a separate application. You have to create the application separately. Okay, so in this previous approval application, you will notice that we don't have HS code validation because there are cases whereby the approved exemption given is with wrong HS tariff code, or maybe wrong information, other information as well. So that's why I said it's very important for you to make sure that you key in your data according to your approval. If the HS code is wrong, you have to key in the wrong HS code. Accordingly, you can apply for amendment in Invest Malaysia to amend the HS code. So that's the reason why we don't have HS code validation in the previous approval form. Okay, let's say you have applied for additional quantity before. When you key in your previous approval application form, make sure you total up all the quantity based on the previous additional quantity applications. Total up. If let's say you have 2 additional quantity, please total up everything, and then accordingly you key in here. And then make sure that you provide all the relevant previous approval. If you have like few additional quantities, provide all the approval letter for the additional quantity. If let's say you have extension previously, please provide that supporting document for the approval letter as well. Okay, I think that's it for the previous approval. Okay, next is on the extension application. Okay, on the extension application, you will be seeing the similar section on the left. I just want to explain a bit on the finished product. Okay, you will notice that there's one additional column that is not there in the new application. Is on the justification changes of maximum annual production capacity column. Okay, you are only required to fill in this information if let's say when you key in the extension application, there are changes to your maximum production capacity. So if let's say there are changes, system will automatically required for you to provide justification on the changes. If they say there's no changes, there is no need for you to fill in the justification on the changes. So this is only required if you have changes in the max cap. Okay. Okay, so this is the section, raw material section for the extension application. The only difference that you will see that there is one additional section, which is the raw material and component given, raw material component given import duty and or SST exemption in the previous period. Okay, this is similar to the one that we have previously in JPC Online. I think those who have applied before, you will be seeing the same information required. So accordingly, please fill in the information in this section as well as other section as well. Other section. Okay, so this is the. Okay, one thing to, as a reminder here, one thing that I want to highlight here is there are issues faced by company that sometimes they accidentally delete the raw material. They accidentally delete the raw material, and then only they realize that is wrong for them to delete. So they are trying to get that information back. Unfortunately, there's no way you can get the information unless you create a new application. That's why before deleting that raw material, you have to make sure that really make sure that it's not relevant or not applicable when for the extension application, that only you delete. So if they say you accidentally delete that raw material, please create a new application. So then only you will see that the one that you deleted is protected, because we pull or we retrieve the information from the previous approval form that you key in earlier. So make sure to think very carefully first before you delete the application. If not, you have to create delete that item. If not, you have to create new application. Okay. Okay, I think that's all for the extension application. Okay, next is not on the additional quantity application. Okay, additional quantity application. Okay, the only difference on the additional quantity application compared to the new extension is, okay, let's say based on your approved exemption, you have you have 6 items that is, for example, in this case here, 4 items that is diluluskan. Okay, for the additional quantity application, you only have to select which item that is applicable to your additional quantity application. Okay, so what you have to do here is you have to select which item first. So once you have selected the items, then only accordingly you have to update your HS code tariff validation. And then other information as well. You have to key in the quantity, the additional quantity, and all those required information. So additional quantity, for additional quantity application, please make sure that you select the applicable, the item that is applicable or relevant to the additional quantity application first. You don't have to fill in, or you don't have to validate all items. You only have to validate and key in whichever that is relevant, the one that you have selected here in the first column. So this is on the additional quantity application. I think the column is more or less similar to the form, the previous form that we have. Okay, so next is on the Okay, the amendment application. Okay, amendment application, there's a bit, a slight different on the section on the left. Okay, as you can see here, finished product, you will see two finished product section. Okay, the first one is related to the previous finished product. Okay, here, this section is we will only populate or show the finished product, the previous approved finished product. So this is populated from your previous approved form if your approved exemption is prior to invest measure. So this information is populated from that previous approval form. So here, there's nothing you can do in this section. It's a reference. So what are the finished product that has been approved based on the exemption? Okay, and then the next section, you will notice like we have factory premise location and finished product amendment section. Okay, for amendment application, there are few types of amendment. So company normally they want to amend finished product, or they want to amend the location, the factory location, or they want to amend the finished product. Sometimes they did not want to amend location or finished product, but they want to amend on the raw material and component, maybe the HS code, maybe the description. So if let's say your amendment only involve on the raw material, you can skip this section. Means you can directly go to the next section, which is the raw material and component section. If only you want to amend on the location or the finished product, then you can click on this amendment checkbox here. So accordingly, now if you can see it's like all the columns or fields are non-editable. Will be only editable once you decide. You select the amendment here. If let's say you does not require any amendment on the location of finished product, you can skip this section. You can proceed to the next section. If let's say you want to amend factory location, you select this select box here, and then please provide the reason why amendment is required, and accordingly you can amend the location, or you can amend the finished product. So this is the section where you can amend the finished product. Okay, for the amendment on raw material, similar to the finished product, we have two sections. The first one is on the previous section. Okay, this information is populated from your exemption, your approved exemption. So you can see here we have diluluskan, we have ditolak, we have tidak dipertimbangkan. If let's say your exemption is prior to the invest measure, you have key in the previous approval form. Those information that you key in that form will be populated here. So what you have to do here is you only have to select whichever item that is relevant or applicable to your amendment application. So the selection here will be carried forward to the next section, this section. Okay, so let's say if you want to amend only the first item, maybe you want to amend the HS code, maybe you want to amend the description. So what you have to do is you have to select whichever item, then you will be populated to the next section. So if you notice here, there's nothing you can do because all the fields are non-editable, because what you have to do here is only to select. It's not for you to amend yet or update. Once you have select the raw material here, only then you will carry forward the next section, and you will notice that all the fields are editable for you to update or for you to edit, amend. So this is what you have to do for amendment application. Okay, so this is if you want to amend on the raw material and component. That's why I said there are normally there are three types of amendment for raw material and component. Whether you want to amend factory location, or you want to amend finished product, or you want to amend raw material and component. So this is on the amendment. And lastly is on the appeal. Okay, basically appeal is similar to the amendment. It's just that you will notice that finished product, we don't have two sections as what It's like what we have in amendment, because for appeal application, you are not required to, you are not, based on the business process, you're not allowed to appeal on the finished product. So that's why you don't have any section for you to amend or for you to appeal, update on the finished product. But you will notice that you have raw material, two separate raw material and component sections, similar to the one that we have in amendment. That means that in the first section, the previous section, you have to select which items that you want to appeal. So again here, there's nothing you can do, it's not editable, because in the previous section, in this raw material and component previous section, what you have to do is to select the item first. Accordingly, whatever you select here will be carried forward to the next section. Okay, this is whereby the selected item, this is whereby you update the information or you edit the information for the appeal application. Okay, that is all on the appeal application. So I've covered the extension application, the important part, the additional quantity, the amendment, as well as the appeal. Okay, so this is on the written application status and application trail. Okay, so this is okay, application status. What we meant by application status is if you look at your dashboard, you will notice like we have one column application status here. So accordingly, you will see the status, whether it's a draft, whether it's a completed application. So this is this is the application status. Okay, on the written, okay, this is on the application trail. Okay, this is an example of the application trail. The application trail is the trail or the log of your application from the submission until the completion. So you can see here a detailed status. But your submitted application, when do you submit your application, and when Tariff is still reviewing your application. If your application is written, you can see here the date and time the application is written to you with the comment. So this is what we meant by application trail. So you can know the application status, where your application is currently at. Whether it's has been accepted, whether it's currently in progress. So you can refer to the application trail here for detailed status. So instead of like you're saying whether it's like in progress or draft or completed. So this is the detailed status with the, if there is a written process, you can see the comment as well here. Okay, so this is on the written application status and application trail. Before I forgot, when the application is written by officer, you can see the comment here. This is the example of comment for the application written by Tariff officer. Example here, the officer said, please enter the finished product for item in the table. This is the example of comment. Okay. So that is on the written application status and application trail. Okay. Next is on the inquiry and help desk. Okay, I would like to emphasize here the difference between the inquiry and help desk because there are. I'm not saying there is a confusion, but they are like help desk is related to any technical issues. Means if you have difficulties, you are receiving error message, you cannot proceed with your application. There is like certain fields or certain column that you want to update, but you cannot update. It's locked for some unknown reason. If you get any error message, whatever issues that is related to technical issues, then you have to report it or you have to log it in the help desk. Okay, if let's say you have information, if you have problems, if you have issues that is related to your business process, how to go about with your application, whether you are eligible to apply for certain application, whether if you want to, you need assistance, you need help, you need guidance on like which application that you need to apply. So this is more on the inquiry. So your inquiry, when you create an inquiry, your inquiry will be redirected to the relevant division. In this case, is the tariff section. So the tariff officer will accordingly assist you with your inquiry, with your issues, with your problems. So make sure that you log the issues, problems that you have accordingly. So whatever is related to your application on the business process requirement, the eligibility, or whatever the need that you have on the application, you can log it in the inquiry. Whatever issues that you have with the technical issues with the system, you can log it in the help desk. Okay, how to log inquiry and help desk? Okay, when you go to the investigation website, you will notice like we have the one link here, technical support. Okay, so this is for the help desk, technical issues as what I explained earlier. So this link is for the inquiry, as what I explained earlier. So these two links, make sure that you report it using the correct channel. If you, let's say you have issues with DigiCert, you are receiving any error message, or you cannot proceed with the registration, you cannot proceed with the verification of digital certificate, please log it in the technical support, the help desk. Don't report it in the inquiry because tariff officer will not be able to assist you or help you with the issues with the digital certificate. So make sure you're using the correct channel to log whatever issues or whatever problems that you are having. Okay, so this is on the technical, on the inquiry and help desk. Okay, so next is on the user guide. Okay, so we provide you the user guide for you to refer to if you have problems or you need help or you need information on how to fill in the information. How can you view, how to view or how to download the user guide or user manual in the investigation website? You can click on this link here. You can see learn about the system link. When you click, okay, you will see the list of all the list of user guide that is available for you to download or available for you to view. We have the user guide on how to register the digital certificate. We have user guide on digital certificate registration, how to make the payment, how to make payment, and then we have one user guide just for general registration process. And then we have user guide for SPM, Surat Pengesahan Maida. If you want to apply for SPM, we have user guide for machinery and equipment application. And of course, we have the user guide for raw material and component application as well. So you have, if you need help, or if you're having some issues to fill in the information, you can refer to the user guide to ease the process of submitting the application. Okay, so that will be all for the, thank you. So that will be all for the webinar today for my presentation, the application walkthrough.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Azwani, for the valuable input on the system. We will go ahead and take some more time for questions now. In the meantime, please bear with us while we prepare for the Q&A session.
Puan Shima kena duduk sebelah line.
Semua Okay, here we have a few panelists. We have Ms. Normawati Kusairi, Ms. Norashima Saripan, Mr. Ravi Chandra, and Ms. Azwani Roslan as panelists for today. I have with me now about 10 questions. I will start with question number 1. Question number 1 says, syarikat tidak mempunyai manufacturing license, adakah perlu memohon lesen ini terlebih dahulu untuk memohon pengecualian duty import? So I think this question we address to Puan Normawati.
Okey, terima kasih Jazran. Untuk soalan ini, okey, syarikat yang tidak mempunyai manufacturing license adakah perlu memohon lesen terlebih dahulu untuk memohon pengecualian duty import? Okey, berdasarkan kepada Akta Perindustrian Penyelesaian Perindustrian 1975, syarikat yang mempunyai shareholder fund 2.5 juta ke atas atau menggaji 75 pekerja sepenuh masa atau lebih adalah perlu memohon lesen penghilang. Okey, bagi syarikat yang tidak mencapai threshold tadi yang threshold 2.5 juta atau menggaji 75 boleh memohon pengecualian lesen penghilang. So untuk memohon pengecualian duty import ini, syarikat perlu mengemukakan sama ada lesen penghilang atau dikecualikan daripada lesen penghilang. Jelas? So maksudnya sama ada syarikat mengemukakan ML di bawah Akta Penyelesaian Perindustrian 1975 atau memohon terlebih dahulu pengecualian surat dikecualikan daripada lesen penghilang 1975 yang boleh dipohon menggunakan borang ICA 10 melalui Invest Malaysia. Melalui investmalaysia.maida.gov.my. Thank you.
Terima kasih Puan Normawati. So maknanya yang untuk menjawab soalan tu ialah wajib lah ya?
Ya, wajib.
Okey.
Sama
Okey.
ada dua tu lah, sama ada ML atau
ICA 10.
ICA 10.
Okey, sekarang kita akan beralih kepada soalan yang kedua. Soalan kedua berbunyi, for the digital certificate, if the authorized person has resigned or registered on her IC number, how to change the new authorized person? So soalan ni mungkin kita berikan kepada Puan Shima. Silakan.
Okay. Hello everybody. I am Puan Shima from the IT division. Okay. For this question, for the digital certificate, if the authorized person has resigned or registered on her IC number, how to change the new authorized person? So you all must log in to the Invest Malaysia. Then you can go, when we are log in, you have the dashboard. Okay, when you go to dashboard, you go straight to my company if your company is more than one company listed there, so you please choose the relevant company, then you click company profile. When you click company profile, they will display all the session related to the company profile. Then you go to the authorized person there. You can add a new authorized person there, and for this, so you must get for the new person, you must get a new digital certificate. So please refer the user guide. You can, when you log in, when you type the URL, investmalaysia.myda.ojekmile, in the landing page, you can see the learn about the system. So you click there and you please refer to the user guide on the registration for the new digital certificate. Okay, please refer to our user guide. Okay, thank you. Okay, Azlan.
Okay, thank you, Shima. Now we go to question number 3. Is this web prefer using Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, or Firefox? So I think this time I will pass over the question to Mr. Ravi.
Thank you, Azlan. So, in terms of the preferred web browser, as highlighted in the Invest Malaysia portal, Chrome and Firefox is preferred. But also, I would like to highlight that this system is mobile responsive. So that means it will still work on the mobile devices. Yeah, so that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we go to question number 4. How we want to delete existing contact person which migrate from last system since the person left the company? So I think maybe Chiazwani want to answer for this question.
Okay. So as what I explained during the presentation, you can remove the contact person in the company profile. But there is cases whereby for migrated company profile or migrated contact person, the only maybe the list of contact person, the migrated list of contact person is no longer working in the company. So what you have to do for this case is you have to log a report, create a ticket in the help desk. So the admin will accordingly assist you to remove that contact person and will add you as a new contact person. So in this case, it's a special case. You cannot do it because this is cases whereby you have yet to be added as a contact person for that company. Yeah, but the list of contact person for the company is no longer working there. So you need to log this issue in the help desk. So the admin will have to remove that contact person and will add you as a new contact person. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Azwani. Next, how long does it take for a decision on the application of import duty and also SST exemption? For Mauti, maybe you want to answer this?
For the decision shall be conveyed within 4 weeks from the last complete information received. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, is there any way that we can upload the whole file in the standard template? No need to key in one by one. Chiazwani?
Again, as what I explained during the presentation, for raw material and component section and manpower section, you have option whether to key in the information through the system, through the form, or you have an option to use the Excel template. So if you choose to use the Excel template, you have to download the Excel template first. You cannot use your own template. I mean, you cannot create your own Excel file separately outside the system, you have to use that template. Because if not, if you're using your own template, when you upload the Excel file, the uploading process will fail. So that's why before you key into the Excel, you have to download the template first. Then using the download template, accordingly you fill in all the information and you upload it back to the system. So actually, yes, you can upload the whole template. You have option for that.
Next question, how many contact person we can add in? Puan Shima, maybe?
Okay, thank you, Azlan. Okay, for this question, how many contact person you can add in? Is in our system is not limited, so you can add as many as you can, but you must wherever you want to add the contact person. So you, example, you want to add Ali. So you must you must ask Ali to register first in the Invest Malaysia, then you can add contact person in the system. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Puan Shima. Question number 8. From current system, email address login into MIDA system and ID for login into online payment is totally different. If payment has been made, how MIDA site will able to link both account or ID? I think this also related to the IT, so maybe Puan Shima also want to address the answer.
Okay, for this question, the online payment and the Invest Malaysia, so for your information, is two separate system. Unfortunately, for this moment, we will not yet integrate. So if the payment is already made, so MIDA admin can check. I mean, we know the payment is already made, but for the company, it means if you want to apply the digital certificate, so you must attach the receipt that you already paid the digital certificate. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we move on to question number 9. Is it possible applicants same as the authorized person? Also, Puan Shima, I think.
Okay. For this question, okay, is it possible applicant same as an authorized person? Yes, it can, is no problem. You can add the applicant, company applicant is the same as authorized. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we go to the last question, question number 10. When to apply extension? When to apply for extension? Okay, maybe Puan Nawati want to answer for this.
Okay. When to apply the extension? Okay, this is important for you. So please kindly apply for the extension application 3 months before the expiring of the approval. This is to avoid any inconvenience caused you. However, if you want to key in the previous approval, you still can key in, but please don't forget to fill in the new form. Maybe Aswani.
Okay. Extension application is what I explained. If let's say your previously approved exemption is prior to the implementation of Invest Malaysia, means it's before July 2020. First, in order for you to apply for extension, you have to key in the previous approval application first. From that approval, then only you can initiate, you can create the extension application. Okay, if let's say your approval is through the Invest Malaysia, means after July 2020, you don't have to key in the previous approval application. So you will notice that that new application with the completed status, then you can create the extension application from that completed application. So previous approval is only applicable to the exemption approved before invest measure.
Under JPC online. Under JPC online, you
Yeah.
have to key in the under previous approval.
Yes. Then you have to create the extension application.
Don't forget.
Yeah, because
Maybe
company sometimes they have tendency to like when they create after they created the previous approval application, they thought my extension is done, my additional quantity is done. No, it's actually two separate application. You have to create that one time submission, that one time creation of the approval first. Then after that, accordingly you can create. You have to create. And all the subsequent application, whether it's extension ke, amendment application ke, additional quantity application ke, you have to create that application. It's not like it's like magically automatically created through that previous approval. No, unfortunately, no. You still have to create those applications.
Okay, maybe I want to add on the previous approval thing. First of all, that previous approval is created because, as Cik Azwani mentioned just now, it is because that our system didn't back up or copy all the information in the previous system. So that's why you need to create the previous approval. Okay, for the old approval, you need to translate it into the previous approval application. It is not yet considered as application, but it is actually a data entry for you to enter all your approved information, approved granted duty exemption before in the previous approval. So before submitting the previous approval, make sure all the information that you key into the previous approval is correct. Exactly the same as what you can see in your lampiran 1 of previous approval. Otherwise, the screening officer will check, and if the data is totally wrong, your application will be rejected.
Before submitting the extension, submitting the previous approval, I definitely before they submit extension, PAPC.
Yes. Before submitting the extension or additional quantity application, you need to make sure that your previous approval is correct. Okay. Otherwise, the screening officer will return your application, or if there is anything wrong with your previous approval, the screening officer will reject your application and will change your status of your previous approval from completed into draft so that you can do the amendments in your previous approval. Cik Azwani, maybe I just remember about the current approval. Current approval means approved in the Invest Malaysia.
Yes.
So that one no need to.
No need.
Okay.
So I mentioned earlier, this previous approval is only for exemption approved prior to the Invest Malaysia before July 2020 under the JPC online system.
The reason because
We did not migrate. Yes, we did not migrate your approval information.
The data
So
of the-
in short, if let's say your approved exemption is through the JPC online, if let's say you want to create extension application or additional application or amendment application, okay, for example, we take extension application, you have to create two application. First one, if the exemption has not yet key in the Invest Malaysia, you have to create the approval first. Then only you have to create the extension application from that approval. But if let's say your approval is through e-trans, you only have to create the extension application only.
can straight apply.
Can straight apply for extension application because the data we have, because you apply the exemption was approved through e-trans, through Invest Malaysia. But again, that previous approval is only one time submission only. It doesn't mean that if you want to create extension, you want to create additional quantity, each time you have to create the previous approval. No, it's a one time. So that's why, as Cik Azlan mentioned earlier, as what I've been emphasizing through the presentation, make sure the information you key in your previous approval form is correct, because it will affect all the subsequent application after that. Thank you.
Okay, so far that is all 10 questions that we have. Maybe I just open the floor for all the panelists if you want to add something. Mr. Ravi, if you want to add something, maybe in terms of the issue of system very slow, company call us and that system is too slow to get in. So maybe you can just respond for that.
Thank you, Jasmine. In terms of system performance, there are multiple factors which will contribute to the slowness. As much as MIDA is maintaining the system to the optimal performance, there is also a possibility that companies need to check on your bandwidth, your way you access the Invest Malaysia portal. So that's where the sometimes if the line is not good, definitely it will slow down the performance. And the other thing is, especially when you have huge Excel data that needs to be uploaded also, that also is going to, because of the data volume is higher, so then it will take a bit longer to get the response from the server. So that's where you can feel a bit of slowness in the system. But we also have other aspects of the slowness that is contributed because of the PDF file generation when the application is submitted by the company in order to digitally sign the form. So that one also we have incorporated certain split mechanism which will allow the company to come back and submit the application after the system in the backend generated the PDF for the companies. So companies will be notified through an email after they draft submit the application. So then they can come back and submit the application by digitally signing using their DigiCert. So overall, the performance is something which MIDA keeps a look on it on almost regular basis. So anything that needs to be fine-tuned from the server side, we will incorporate as and when we find a problem. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ravi. One last round, Shivani. Maybe you want to add on any more?
Nothing for me.
Okay, thank you. Panamawati, anything want to add? Rashima?
I want to emphasize for all our customer, our client. So please, if you have a technical problem, please log to the technical support. Okay, and if you have any inquiry, please log in the inquiry. It means if you have a inquiry on the policy guidelines, so please log to the inquiry, or you can call MIDA customer service center. Okay, please. And also please refer to user manual. I mean, you can get the user manual just with one click on the learn about the system. Please, before you use the system, please refer the user guide. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Puan Shima. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the end of our webinar. Last but not least, let me thank our panelists for their insightful presentation and comments. For those who still have questions, you may email us at investmalaysia@mida.gov.my. I hope you have gained lots of useful input and information today. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating in today's webinar, and have a nice day. Thank you.